Hey everyone, welcome back to Cooking with the Wook. Today what we're going to do is we're going to make some strawberry rhubarb pie. Some strawberries. Some rhubarb. Let's get going. Alright, so first step in our rhubarb and strawberry pie here is you want to go ahead and prepare the rhubarb. Fairly straightforward. It's about 3 or 4 basic steps. Trim off the ends. Make sure you're working with fresh rhubarb here. If it's slightly bendy, probably go back to wherever you bought it and ask for a refund. Once you've got your rhubarb ready, just go ahead and chop it up light. What you're aiming for is similar sized pieces here. So they'll get done basically about the same. It'll make the texture uniform. And it won't burn unless you screw up. Alright, so once you've got your rhubarb nice and chopped up there, go and throw it in a crock pot. Turn it up to high. I'm going to go ahead and throw in about a ½ teaspoon ground ginger. Optional, of course. I happen to like it. Go ahead and throw in about a cup of sugar. You can use white sugar or brown sugar here, or cane sugar works too. Anything that's sweet, really. We'll call that a cup. Additionally, you want 1 stick of unsalted butter. Throw that in there. 1/2 cup water. Put the lid on, set that aside. Leave it alone for about 2 hours. Alright, so the next step, of course, is the crust. There's a couple different ways to do the crust. You can make your own. We might get to that in a later episode. Or you can just go ahead and do what I've done. Just get some crust from the freezer part of the store. At this point I'm going with a puff pastry from Pepperidge Farms because it fell most easily to hand. Once you've got it rolled out to your satisfaction, just go ahead and drape it right over the pie tin. You want to grab some tin foil, do the same thing. I've found that this way it's a lot easier to cook it, because if you're lazy or cheap like I am, without pie weights, what you do is get a whole bunch of dried beans, pour them in there, and bake the dang thing. At this point, it's really easy to get the excess crust off the sides. Now that the pie tin has a considerable amount of weight to it, let's go ahead and slice it off. At this point, we're going to go ahead and put it in the oven and cook the bottom layer of this crust here. We're going to put it in the oven probably at about 450 degrees for about 15 to 20 minutes. Then we're going to take it out, remove the beans, and cool the crust. So as you can see here, I've since baked the pie crust, on the bottom at least. And as you can see here, I've decanted the rhubarb from the crock pot. And there's the juice there. We're going to use that here in a moment. So the next step in our preparation is to slice up some strawberries here. You can add as much as you'd like within the constraints provided by the pie dish. Same with the rhubarb. Try and get these about similar size slices. At this point, we're only going to be cooking the strawberries and the top crust. So next step is we're going to go ahead and make the sauce. Go ahead and take about 1 ladleful of the rhubarb juice and siphon that off. I want to take about 2 teaspoons cornstarch. Just go ahead and mix her up real good. And then we want to go ahead and assemble it all together. Don't want to add too much sauce. Just enough to make it wet on the bottom. Some of this will be boiling off while we're cooking it. Which brings us to our next step. Go ahead and take another sheet of the dough or crust, depends on what you're using. Just kind of stretch it out there on the top and then cut it off. Once you've got it suitably cut, no need to be too exact. Then slice the top a couple of times, completely through, and this is to allow the steam to escape. So we're going to go and throw this in a 350 degree oven for about 25 minutes. Alright, so there we go. Just taking her out of the oven, and looks like pie. So another success. Thanks for watching.